Welcome, welcome, welcome. That is something that an old teacher of mine used to say before every assembly to a point where it became a joke between my friends. So, welcome. Today I'm going to be showcasing off some concept art that I've done for League of Legends, like champions, which I think would be interesting to see in the game. I play League quite a bit, 1 or 2 hours a day, and eventually I started getting recommended videos about what makes a good champion design, what makes a bad champion design, like why some champions are more played or nothing else. And once in a while they'll show off some concept art. That is like how the designers came up with the idea to create a champion and why it works or doesn't. And every time I see it, I think it looks really good. I just like the idea that there's so many different ways it could have turned out, and they eventually settle on one, and like different abilities or different. There's so much different. So what I did is I also started doodling up some concept art, and when I say that I mean like really less than a day kind of thing. So first, let's showcase off my first one. Papa. This one is, how would I put this? She's a thief. She steals the basic abilities of enemy champions. And how does she do this? Well, for starters, there's no passive, just to make sure that this champion is not crazy broken. QWE is like a basic champion's QWE. Uh, you can see that she has like long extendable arms, so I think part of it would be like grabbing a wall, dashing towards it, or like smacking the ground with your arm. But the really main important thing is the ult. So this champion's ult is she grabs out and steals the essence of whatever enemy champion she grabs onto. And when I say this, I mean it's not like a Blitzcrank hook where you grab onto somebody and pull it towards you, or Nautilus where you grab a wall and you pull towards it. You literally just take the essence and you get adaptive bonus damage based off the essence. So when I say that, I mean like if you steal it from a mage, you get bonus AP, and if you steal it from a ADC, you get bonus AD. But also, you could steal the last ability that they use. When I say steal, I mean copy. But like, let's say a Lux used a Q, and you steal it, you can use Lux's Q for permanently on your Q. And it will definitely make an interesting gameplay because there's no way to predict what kind of champion you're going to build in the end. Like, if you got three AD abilities, it's really hard to itemize against and for. It also really like up to your creativity. There's so much options you could do, and I think that'll make you a really interesting champion. Or you could be a really broken champion. Like if you steal, let's say, Masi's Q, Yasuo's win wall, maybe Gwen's W, you just be untargetable and the most annoying champion in the game. That's why there's no passive, and technically the ult doesn't do anything. So inspiration for this champion comes from that Akatsuki guy from Naruto. So it's that guy where like he was an immortal and he would steal the hearts of enemies and use that heart to use their abilities. So he could use fire, earth, wind, water, and lightning abilities. So there's something similar to steal the essence of an enemy's like basic abilities, which is why the design also looks kind of similar. So it's that sinewy blackness that like splits up the body, and I think that looks really cool. Furthermore, if you can see, the arms is wearing like really big cloth. That's to hide the arms because I realize a lot of abilities use the upper body, like you're holding a gun or you're holding a sword and stuff. So you hide it behind the clothing so that when she uses the ability that she stole from somebody else, it sort of makes thematic sense. Sort of, not really. It probably wouldn't work very well. A lot of bugs, but I think it'd be really interesting. Oh, this one, I'm not really sure how I came up with this idea. So, how do I put this? Do you remember in Fate, there's Ishtar, and Ishtar's like ultimate move, her Noble Phantasm, is where she destroys a mountain range? So we're going to take that concept and put it onto a champion. So this champion's ult, as seen in the top left, is where it shoots out a beam that destroys the map. So what that means is, let's say, like, there's some walls stopping you from going from A to B. This ult will like terraform the world where there's gaps between those walls, so anybody can just walk through. And I think that could be really broken. Not broken, it could be really creative in a sense. Like everyone's doing dragon and your team needs to go and fight the dragon. So instead of having to like flash or dash over the wall, because some champions don't have that, use this ability to make a way into the dragon. So you could actually do like a fight in the dragon. Or let's say you're trying to run away from the enemies. So you make this really long like gap so that anyone could just run through and somebody could come in and help you and you can actually escape. So you don't actually have to worry about the terrain that you're fighting in. So that's her main like ultimate. But I think what's interesting about this character is the idea. So the idea of this is that it's just a normal-ish person. Like I would do a girl because I like drawing girls, and she's protected by this monster, intangible, invisible, like immortal. Like you can't hit the monster, and it's always following her. So you can see on the top right, it's just standing around her, and it has no shape or form, as can be seen. So like in one of them, I put the bottom, using his claws to protect her. So like an attack will come, and just use the claw and protect her. But also it has tentacles top left, and also has spider eyes on the right. So it's supposed to be this like old god or something. They just chose this one random girl and wanted to protect her with all the power. And it has no form, or at least a form which cannot be comprehended by mankind. So for most of the game, it'll be invisible, except when it uses abilities, it will create an incoherent like appendage out of nowhere to protect it or do basic damage or stuff like that. I really like that idea of just this all-powerful thing protecting you for no reason, and you can't see it or imagine it. It just is so powerful that it just is. And last but not least, we have this. Honestly, the drawing is not the best. It's the last one I did. It's getting tired. I did this in one day. But this is an idea that I've had for a while. So this champion, the main ult is like Mordekaiser's ult, where you banish someone to another realm. So this is supposed to be like the goddess of death or something like that. So she banishes you to literal hell. It's black. It's a black hell. That's why everything in this drawing is black. But it's not just you. It's anyone caught in the radius of her ult. And in this hell, there is no terrain. It's just a flat circle. So you can't like kite somebody out using the terrain. You're literally just fighting one-on-one. But it's not just one-on-one. It's whoever's trapped in it. So you could have your entire team and the entire enemy's team, and you're all banished to this realm. So no one can escape, and you actually have to fight, like properly fight. Or let's say you guys are fighting for dragon and the jungler comes. So this champion will use the ult, and the dragon is not brought to this new realm. So just you and the enemy jungler, which allows the dragon to restore health while you try to fight the jungler one-on-one. And another thing, because it's supposed to be this like goddess of death, is that any champion that dies in it, the respawn timer won't start clicking down until the ult is finished. So if you kill him in the first second, this ult lasts for 10 seconds. That means you are technically dead for an extra 9 seconds. Yes. So another thing, so you see the middle, is that since it's a god of death, I like the idea of like an anti-Ivan. So Ivan is a jungler where he goes like the camps and becomes friends with the camps, and then the camps disappear and he gets golden XP. So this champion is similar, but the exact opposite. So it'll go to a camp and instead curse the camp with death. So instead of farming the camp will also just slowly disappear. The monsters will literally just die. And in a sense, Ivan can like grow plants out of the ground. So this champion, when she's near a plant, it will die temporarily while it's around her. And then it'll grow back once she leaves, but there'll be no hiding in the bush. All the bushes will be dead. So it's literally the opposite of Ivan. A goddess of death, while Ivan is like the messenger of the trees. And now, taking from like design inspiration, her arm is covered in black tendrils because I think it looks cool. Definitely a black and white design. So yeah, I really like this concept of a champion which is the anti-Ivan. So the jungler where you can curse the camps and then kill them. And also the ult is this really impressive thing where it brings everybody to another realm where you can't like run away or use the terrain to hide. But it's like a 3-on-3, so there's still uh, ways to outplay. Because the problem with Mordekaiser is that once you get caught into another realm, he steals your stats. There's almost no outplay. When this one, you can't run away, but you can actually fight. And to make it fair, other people can join in with you. And it'll also be a really creative ability because if you time it well, it can do a lot of difference. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, just interact. Cheers, mate.